These boxes are prototypes of a solution to a problem I noticed way back in 2022. In baseball, there's this thing called a sliding mitt, and typically it looks a little bit like this. Not exactly like this, but you're gonna get the idea. It's basically a mitt that you put your hand in, and this one's kind of crappy. But it has a Velcro strap right here that holds it on your hand. And the whole purpose of it is basically when you're base running, when you slide, your fingers don't get jammed, and then the shortstop goes to try to tag you out. They don't step on your hand, and metal cleats go through your hand. I used to play baseball, and I would notice when base runners would get on base, they would spend too much time messing with this, and because of this Velcro. And I just noticed that it took too long, so I figured I would make a solution. Now, my early ideas were pretty crappy, but I'll show some of it. This is the first concept. Wait, no, it's not. This is the first concept. My first idea to the solution. Fast forward a few months, this is what I have. So you can see this one is significantly better than the first cardboard prototypes, and instead of being 3 panels, it is only 2. This particular one doesn't have magnets, and later, what this turned into, used a mechanism I call hyperlock, which is these teeth with embedded magnets within the center. This one doesn't have. So on a normal version with the magnets, you would be able to do this, and the mitt will lock and close like this. So after developing that and showing the world on TikTok and Instagram, I've had a few months of success, I would say, and a couple of my videos actually went viral. I started selling this beta version, I call it Viper Beta version 1. I've sold around 30, maybe 40, with the intent of perfecting the product, getting feedback so I can improve it. So that's what this video is going to be about. About a week ago, I wrote some of my first customers and asked them for any feedback they might have so I can make the Viper 2. For the most part, all of my customers were happy with the product, which was great, but it didn't give me any information to improve the Viper 2. But I did get one message. One of my customers complained that the mitt would come off sometimes when they slide, and also the full auto, which is, I call the method of putting it on like this, didn't always work as advertised, which is my concern about this idea in the first place. So my goal with the Viper 2 is to completely eliminate the need for having to learn how to use the mitt and make it more just easy to use for everybody. And then secondly, I want to make it adjustable because the Viper 1, this mechanism has to land in the same spot every time, making it one size fits all. One size just doesn't fit all in this case, partly because of this isn't really elastic. This will have to land in the same exact spot, and then that made the cuff size, the cuff size is completely fixed. And if I'm trying to sell to professional players, I'm trying to sell to maybe travel ball players, aren't exactly going to use a youth model, there has to be some type of adjustability with the cuff. So I'm not far in the prototypes, but there is something that I did want to implement that has kind of been an idea from the beginning of when I started making this. It's a material that I've worked with before for a prototype for another product that I'm going to make a separate video about. And that material is this. This is rib knit. As you can see, it's super elastic in contrast to the neoprene of the Viper 1. The reason I went with neoprene in the first place was I had to make a trade-off for elasticity because I needed the rigidity of it. So if you look, I have a cuff made of rib knit, which I'm going to kind of dive into. You can see how just floppy it is and how on this axis it wants to hang, in contrast to the stiffness of neoprene. Neoprene doesn't hang downward nearly at all. Because on the Viper 1, the lock had to land in the same spot every time. I wanted the cuff to support that and to be as fixed and have as little variables as possible. So stiffness in this case was great. But now that I'm trying to incorporate some elasticity and, some adjustability, I think going with a material, if not rib knit, then a similar material is the right choice. So this is what I call hyperlock is this mechanism, like I said, with embedded magnets and these teeth. This is Hyperlock 1, and you can see very small teeth in contrast to Hyperlock 2. So now I'm working on Hyperlock 3. My goal for it is to be, like I said, adjustable, but also I want some added comfort, and I want to incorporate some flexibility into the actual rigid parts. So you can see this is a flexible material now. So you can see Hyperlock 3 so far is this bottom panel that is larger than the body insert on Hyperlock 2. It's also embedded magnets with a cover, so the magnets aren't exposed to elements. You can see the contrast between 2 and 3. And you can see how 3 has this like center line with no teeth. So in this version of Hyperlock 3, I have 2 magnets. You can kind of see the silhouettes here, 1 and 2, and then only 1 magnet in the cuff. And the purpose is, if you have a smaller wrist, you do the full auto. This one doesn't work, by the way. This part is gonna stretch like this. And if you have a smaller wrist, it's gonna go all the way to the second magnet. And if you have a bigger wrist, it's only gonna lock onto the first one. So as of now, this one doesn't work great, at least. Sometimes I can get it like now. And I'm thinking, I don't know if it's the fact that the magnets under here. I don't believe magnets like are affected by barriers like that, as long as they're non-magnetic, which in this case it isn't. But I found that the magnet strength seems to be stronger on rigid parts. So I don't know how that's possible, but that's something I noticed. So I'm thinking about maybe trying out a rigid Hyperlock 3 and seeing if I have better luck with the full auto. And then also I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe I need more weight on the end, because the weight helps to stretch the band to go like this. That, or I need 2 magnets. That's pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to kind of give you guys an update on what's going on with this product, what I've been working on lately, just some other stuff I've been working on as well that I'm going to make a video about. But yeah, that's pretty much the next step for this business. I have my manufacturer waiting for me to send them templates, so I gotta do that. But I just don't want to send them the Viper 2 because of its flaws. So as soon as I create the Viper 2, I said Viper 1. I don't want to send the Viper 1 because of flaws. I want to send the Viper 2 with Hyperlock 3, so that when that started rolling into production, I have the highest chance of happy customers and reoccurring buyers and peer-to-peer advertisement. So that's my goal. That's pretty much it.